Making sure. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for our Unlock Your Potential, exploring the AO scan. My name is Paige Haynes, and I'll introduce myself properly in a minute, but I thought what we could first jump into is why we're all here this evening, because it may not be clear to all of you. And yeah, I guess we want to just make it really clear what this is all about, why we have put it out to all of our networks. I'm joined by Belle Billinghurst tonight, as well as Amanda Addy, and we are three kinesiologists, and we're here to talk about a new technology that, well, kind of new. I guess it's been around a little bit longer now. I keep saying it's new, but it's definitely been in my life now for almost 3 years, which is crazy. I can't even believe that. And it's really taken our businesses by storm. So first of all, what we thought we would do is just take you through a little bit of information about that and what we're working with. So first of all, how many practitioners do we have on the call tonight? Just pop in the chat. That would be amazing. And where are you coming from as well? I'd love to hear that as well. Let me work out my percent.
Well, I'll start. I'm down in Melbourne. Who else? Where's everyone from?
Yeah, where's everyone from tonight? Let's have a look in the chat.
Lynn in Melbourne, welcome. Gold Coast for Debbie.
Cool, cool.
Brisbane for Rachel.
Excellent. Gold Coast, Brisbane.
Vegas for Beck. Brizzy, I've got a few Brisbane.
Melbourne, yeah, Melbourne's strong too. Well, that's lucky. Beautiful. Oh, lots of Melbourne. Melbourne's winning, I think. This is not good. Bribey. Beautiful joke. Awesome. Love to hear what everybody does as well.
We've got international. WA.
Bunbury. Oh, Monique, I was over in Bunbury not so long ago. Love it.
Another Melbourne.
Gorgeous. Awesome. Okay, so let's jump into
Oakley, Melbourne, another one. Yay. Really
well. Up and down, back
oh,
and front.
nice. Summers, Victoria. There you go. Awesome. So keep those coming in. That's awesome. Okay, so why frequency medicine? We are here to speak about the AO scan, and it is in the realm of the bioresonance. And so why would we choose to work with frequency medicine? Every cell and organ in the body has their own distinctive vibrational frequencies. And when these frequencies are disrupted, whether by injury, diet, stress, or emotion, it results in a disruption that is often so profound, we carry the scars for life. When this remains unaddressed, this can bring about fatigue, depression, illness, disease, and even death. And over the past 20 years, these vibrational frequencies have been isolated, identified, and catalogued. And in fact, it goes back a little bit further than this. Are you seeing my screen?
No.
Oh,
no, shared screen.
It says present window.
Oh no. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Got it. Okay. Are you seeing anything there now?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. I'm just going to go back to my original plan and see this.
This is much better.
We seeing that now?
Yeah, much better.
Yes.
Just everyone.
I've just got the gallery view.
Oh, okay. Give me a second.
Right.
Let's try this again. Sorry, everyone. Yes?
That's
no?
better.
Beautiful.
Okay. So what I just said about why frequency medicine, because every cell and organ in the body has their own distinctive vibrational frequency. And as I just said, over the past 20 years, these vibrational frequencies have been isolated, identified, and catalogued. However, we can date it back to way, way before that. So Nikola Tesla weighed in on this and said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And Albert Einstein as well. So future medicine will be the medicine of the frequencies. And he also stated everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Okay, so who here already uses some form of frequency medicine and what they do? Does anyone want to pop in the chat whether or not they're already using frequency? Hi, Molly. She's in Brisbane. Beautiful. I know for me, I was using frequency before I even started with the bioresonance. And I think that's what really actually drew me to it in the first place. Anyone? Yes, Julie's saying yes. Spooky too. Okay, Monique. Yeah, awesome. Yes, Miguel as well. I don't know if that's how I pronounce your name, Miguel. Hope so. Beautiful. Yes, but definitely not utilizing to the full potential. Okay, excellent. All right, well, hopefully we can share a little bit about this one tonight with you. So this is introducing the AO Scan Mobile. The AO Scan is a biofeedback device, an educational tool to check your body at any time of the day. It restores balance in the body, mind, and soul, and is an affordable handheld device that can scan, optimize, and harmonize your entire body multiple times per day. So I'd love to just dive in and introduce ourselves a little bit more. So as I mentioned, we're 3 kinesiologists tonight. I don't know why, but kinesiologists seem to love this technology. And I was first attracted to the AO scan back in 2021, I think it was. It was right in the middle of all of the lockdowns and all of the things. And I had been using frequency personally and professionally for quite some time. And I was a little bit skeptic, if I'm honest, about a machine being able to do what I could do via distance and through my own body. And so, funny, I was just having this conversation with my partner last night as well. It's like, I can't do that. I don't know how he's only just waking up to the fact that I'm doing this work. But anyway, and so when I came across, well, it wasn't first this technology. I had another technology first. I was a little bit skeptical and I tested it and it tested out and it was amazing. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And then the AO scan came along and blew everything out of the water. And it completely changed how I started to work with my clients. And to be honest, the first technology that I was working with, it was what I really hoped this would be. And so, and it wasn't, it didn't quite match up. And yeah, when the AO scan came along, I had a beautiful student. So I teach kinesiology as well. I'm a neurolinguistic kinesiologist and I teach neurolinguistic kinesiology. And she was very persistent and she kept bringing it to class. And I'm like, no more technologies. I've already got mine. And then, yeah, she kept slowly just showing all of the other students all of these things. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a look at it. And I was blown away. So that was me. And most recently, I was able to go traveling actually for 6 months with my family around Australia in a bus. And I was able to completely change the way I worked for that 6 months. And that, you know, this opportunity has allowed me to do that, where I was still building my business while I was traveling around. So that was really cool. Amanda, can you tell me a little bit about you and how you came across?
Yeah, sure. So welcome everyone. Good to see everyone's faces. So my name's Amanda. I'm situated down here in Melbourne in Frankston South on the start of the Mornington Peninsula. And I am, well, my shop front is a full-time kinesiologist of 20, I'll be in my 22nd year this year. And I teach and run workshops and day retreats and all that sort of stuff. And then I guess lockdown happened here in Melbourne and I was very much a, 4 or 5 day week clinic girl seeing my clients face to face, and lockdown happened and I was, a non-essential worker being a kinesiologist and stuck at home. And lucky for me, I was already doing a bit of online Zooming with my clients that were interstate or overseas. So I was able to pick up the online Zoom and work, but I was starting to get quite burnt out and I was looking for a passive income for a while prior to this landing. So there is a residual income that you can do with this, but I also was looking for a tool to help me online so that I wasn't so burnt out energetically surrogating for my clients in a kinesiology sense if there's other sort of healer kinesiologists online. So I remember the first time, I think it was in the kinesiology group that Paige put up a free inner voice scan, and I think I was just like, oh yeah, what's that? I'll try that. And being in lockdown was a little bit bored and looking for something as well. And then I completely forgot all about it. And then a week later, you reminded me, and I remember getting that message. And I think you also put a little post or video in, and I kind of, as soon as I started watching the video and the going around the screen and actually seeing the technology, which we'll show you a bit tonight, I was just my intuition was sparking, and I pretty much couldn't buy it quick enough. I think I bought it before I even got the inner voice. So I was like, yeah, sign me up. And so for me, when my intuition does that, it doesn't do it very often in life. It was when I started kinesiology. It was like, I need to do this. And then also around this technology, I'd also been shown other technologies, but I hadn't felt called to that until I saw this scanner. So I, knew a little bit about bioresonance from naturopaths and different people over the years. So, and obviously I believe in frequency. So it was a no-brainer for me. And also being in lockdown, I couldn't see my therapist that I'd go to for self-care. So this became my self-toolkit to start with on myself. Then I went on to my clients after that. So, and that was August 21, I think. So yeah.
You're only a month behind me.
Yeah, month behind you.
That was July. Yeah, amazing. And Belle, welcome.
Hi,
Thank you for being
here. I'm just down the road from beautiful Amanda in Seaford. So I think it was the start of Jan 2022 that lovely Amanda introduced it to me. So I was going through some full-on adrenal fatigue, burnout situation. So I had some health stuff going on, and one of the practitioners I was seeing recommended that I have bioresonance therapy, and that it's one of the most amazing ways to overcome adrenal fatigue and burnout really quickly. And she was charging $300 a session. I had to have fortnightly sessions and go for 12 weeks. So obviously doing the maths on that and being a practitioner, I was like, I think I'm just going to buy my own bioresonance device and just do it myself. And then I've got a tool I can offer clients. And then just in that time of making that decision, Amanda had done a post on Facebook, which I saw, and I was like, oh my God, yes, let's check this out. So I'd had some blood results that I got back on the Thursday. I had my scan and Zoom with Amanda the Friday morning, and that afternoon I'd gone to my naturopath kinesiologist. Literally everything that came up in that bioresonance scan was confirmed by blood results at the doctor, the pathology, and what came up in my kinesiology naturopath appointment with the, chakras, meridians energetically. So literally that afternoon, I'm like, sign me up, I'm in. I have had adrenal fatigue twice before in my life, and it's taken me 6 months to get my energy back, and I've had to work part-time for a long period of time. And I had my energy back in 3 weeks. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. It was also obviously during lockdown. And so I had a bit more time on my hands. So I designed some programs, and I made like 20 grand in 5 months. And it was just incredible. Like, it's changed my life so much, which I'll go into more detail about later. But yeah, very grateful for these beautiful women and to have this technology in my life.
Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome. Well, we might just jump straight in, I think, and we'll show you a little bit around the actual technology. And let me just make sure I get the share screen right now. Let's go. Oops. Okay, no, that's not it. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Where is it? Oh. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Excuse me while I navigate technology. Okay. Awesome. Okay, is everyone seeing the menu for the AO scan? Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so the AO scan is, it's called an app. However, it is actually just a website that you can actually upload on all of your devices. So it works best on either a mobile device or an iPad. It can work through through your computer as well. There are a few little drawbacks with the computer, but also some bonuses. So we can speak to that as we go along. So these are the different features. Okay, and each of them opens up into a world of interesting things. I'm going to focus on the main ones tonight, and the girls and I are going to dive in a little bit deeper about how we've used these in our business. So this is a really quick overview. Please know that there is so much more to this. So the first thing I'm actually going to show you is the inner voice. Now, if you're here, you may have actually already received one of these. This is our emotional balance scan. And the way that we do this is simply through a person's voice. So up here, you can see that I am the target. I've given some information, literally just name, date of birth, email, and height and weight. And then that actually allows the technology to tune in and hone in on me, okay, which is a little bit to get your head around. And it's what I struggled with at the beginning as well. However, I used to be, or I still am, a reconnective healer. And I would do that with people with less information across the other side of the world. And I would be able to send them frequencies. They could feel it. I could feel it. You know, there was amazing healings. So my skepticism, I guess, was how could a machine do this? And honestly, it's about working with it and understanding it and then seeing the results is how you prove that, which is done over and over and over again in my world anyway. So basically, we take a little snapshot of your voice for this particular scan. Now, it's the only one that we really need the voice for. And then it actually picks up the different octaves in the voice. So you can see here, there's a lot of different information here. When we press on reports, and this is one that I did this morning because this is actually part of my self-care routine that I do every single day. And it comes up with your report. And if you are a practitioner and you're sending this to clients, you literally can send this with the little email button there. Okay, and that sends exactly what you are seeing right here. They can have a read of what it is, which I won't go into right now, but basically it picks up the different octaves in your voice, like a lie detector test. And then it produces a report to tell you exactly what's happening from an emotional perspective. Now, as a kinesiologist, obviously we muscle test for emotions and we're clearing emotions as we go. It's one of the main things that we do in kinesiology. Having this as a tool to be able to back up what comes up in a session, and then having this as sound therapy, because that is what it is, that the client can then go and listen to after they've had their session for the next week or 2 weeks or until they come back to see you, is a game changer. And so you can see here that we actually have, I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. No, I'm not. Okay. We have 4 different things that we can go through, and it's telling us, particularly down here, of what emotions and a supportive color that we can wear, and also the supportive note. And that's what's made up in the tunes that we receive, so the sound therapy. And that's sent, you can actually press play through the actual link that you receive, and you can choose the different time as well. So you have 4 different reports of those, okay? And we can see here, so low self-esteem versus self-accepting, emotions here. We also have potential causes. I don't go too much into that with clients at the start, but it is something that you can see. The other thing that I love about this is it shows you the imbalances and suggestions. So we can speak until we're blue in the face oftentimes as practitioners, but when somebody receives this and it's come straight from their voices, for them to go away and say, oh, it's saying digestive enzymes would be really good for me, or perhaps chiropractic or a liver detox. And when that comes up over and over in their reports, they start to take that action, which is really, really cool. And then when it actually backs up what you've already been talking about and you've seen in the kinesiology sessions, it's just brilliant. And so you can see here, there's 4 different ways. We have the color therapy, and then we have the sound therapy. I don't know what the settings are on this, but I don't know whether we'll be able to see it on here. And you have all sorts of different music that you can play to that. So I'll just try that. And for the pulse tones, it's really this pulse behind it that acts like binaural beats. And so you listen to it with the headphones in, and it helps to balance out the body and all of those emotions that you've just seen in that report. I don't think that music is going to play for us, but anyway, that gives you an idea. So that's our first really game changer daily self-care for me, and for most people who own the scanner, is that's where we start. The vitals is another part, which is, I say it's like the physiology of the body, or the chemistry of the body. And it basically scans and then optimizes the body. So that's why you can see a scan and then optimize. I'm not going to do that because it takes a couple of minutes, and it also sounds awful. But we don't have to listen to that. So this is the report that you receive. Now, this is going to look a little bit confusing, but as you come into this, you start to understand how to read it. And basically, red and orange are out of balance, and it will tell us when things have stayed out of range. So we have a previous scan and we have a current scan. Previous just means that it's scanned. The current means that it's optimized, okay? And then that is where we focus. So we're looking for the things that have stayed out of balance. So you can see here, there are foods. that come up as sensitivities. Now, we wouldn't call these allergies. However, they might reflect people with allergies. They might reflect what they've got going on for them. It means that the body is having trouble with these particular foods at this particular moment. And this was me this morning. Okay, so I would only be looking at these reds. And as we go down, you can see there are over 200 foods, but then we also have things like bloods and chakras and meridians, which Belle's going to go into a bit more in detail later on. But as a kinesiologist, this is phenomenal because people can actually see not only the physical, but the emotional links here as well, and see which of their meridians have stayed out. And again, we have that previous and current. So we're always looking for the ones that have stayed out of balance, but also for clues for things that have already been, you know, when we scanned, we're out of balance, but then come back into balance, because we can always see that too. We've got gastrointestinal functions. We've got, you know, nutritional, digestive enzymes, micro, macro minerals, and nutrients. We have cardiovascular, cerebrovascular. It just goes on and on and on. I think it's like a 37-page report. Now, you may not want to go into this much detail, and some people don't, and that's okay. However, this can be used as a really great overview tool. If someone comes to you and starts, you know, that they've got a list of things a mile long, you can start to delve in and just have a quick, even a quick view, just see what's going on with them. Or you can make it as a complete business, reading scans and actually running scans for people as well. So there's a lot of options with this. And some people don't even use the vitals at all in their practice. But as you can see here as well, toxicities, so allergies, this is more, you know, your trees and grasses and things like that. We've got bacteria, we've got fungus, we've got human toxins. So we've got pesticide there, which is interesting, and vaccinations, heavy metals, molds, parasites, which is always interesting, and viruses. Okay, so this is an amazing tool to see not only where you're at personally, but also where your clients are at as well. And with this technology comes training. It comes support and training. So you're never going to know when you first walk in exactly what everything means. And I love that you said, Belle, that yours like really reflected that, you know, your blood tests and things like that. And sometimes that can definitely be the case, which is really amazing. And I've had that happen so many times with my clients as well. But what we're really looking for is patterns in this as well, okay, over a period of time to really see what's happening with people. Okay, so that's that. The next one that I'd love to show you is the comprehensive. Now, this is actually the structure of the body. Oops. Okay. Sorry, something weird just popped up on my screen. So this is more the structure of the body. I'm not going to go into all of the details here, but basically you can select what you want out of the physical body to be scanned. Okay, and so this is picked up from my other scans this morning, what needed to be scanned. And again, you can do a scan and an optimize, and then you can go to the report. Now, I find these reports a little bit hard to read, the actual image reports, but it's great to find out where, let's say, the colostrum is, because I've got no idea. So you can find that by going down here like that. However, we've also got a table report here. So the beautiful thing about this is we're looking again for the things that have stayed out of balance. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to know every part of the body. You can also click on things. I'm just looking for a really good one to click on, where it will actually show you in the body where it is. And I just don't know. Let's try the kidney. See if it'll do it for us. It might not do it just because of the internet and being on here, but trust me that you can click on it. It will actually bring up a 3D image of where these things are. So really helpful for ligaments and arteries and veins and things if you have no idea what they are. And I know as a kinesiologist, sometimes we need to put those things on, right, and work with them, and we don't know what they necessarily are, the specific ones. So this can be a really great indicator of that. I can't tell you how many times I've used it for my kids because they are adrenaline junkies, and they will come to me and say, Mom, can you just scan my arm because I think it's broken? And I'm able to do that really quickly. But it not only scans, it also optimizes, which helps to bring it back into balance. So oftentimes that will start the healing process as well and start reducing their pain as well. So you can see that's a really, really comprehensive list. And if you want to find out just one thing that's happening in one part of your body, you can literally go in there and run a scan and an optimization, which is really cool. We also have body systems. So we can scan and optimize every single body system in our body by literally just pressing scan and optimize. Again, you can deselect all of these, but can you imagine if you had a client that was coming to you and they had like 3 things going on and they really wanted to know a deeper meaning of what that was? You can literally click those 3 body systems, scan and optimize, and then you have a made for you, done for you report as well. Hopefully my internet will let us go into that because it's actually quite a large report. And the last one I did everything, which is quite a lot. But I'll just show you what one of those reports looks like. And again, like the inner voice report, it gives you suggestions as well, which I just love that, because it's almost like doing the work for you. You don't have to go and research the circulatory system and what would help support them, because it's actually coming up for, oh no, it's not populating it, is it? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, it's just going a bit slow. So it actually tells you where the circulatory system is, what it includes, and then this is what I was talking about with the ways to improve. So it's telling your people the way that they can help that circulatory system. And it's also telling you the physical part of it, the vitals part of it, things that might be actually affecting it, causes, potential causes, and the emotional causes as well. And that does that for every single body system. There is also, my favorite at the moment is the hormones panel. I work with hormones with my kinesiology independent of this. And I tell you what, this has been awesome as well to add in there, just to confirm what we're doing, but also to help to bring the body back into balance as well. And there you go. So that gives you a whole panel of hormones again. And again, don't worry if you don't know what all of the percentages and things like that means, because it all comes with training as we go as well. So some other really interesting things are the Cephi, which Belle and Amanda are both going to speak to, but this is a crazy database basically of frequencies. Now, these are customizable, so you can have your own custom playlist, which as you can see in here, I've got a gazillion, and I'm pretty sure Belle's going to share some of hers, and probably Amanda is later as well. So I won't go too much into detail, but basically these are all drop-down menus and you can choose any specific frequency that you want. So I have a pain program for my children. So when they hurt themselves at the skate park, I reach for my device and I press the pain program before I go and actually see what's wrong with them, so that that's starting for them. And that has things on there like homeopathics. It has the actual pain frequencies. It has flower essences as well, because these are all included in here, which is just phenomenal. For the homeopathics, we can actually search by symptom, which is a game changer. I love homeopathics, but I am not an expert in it. You don't have to be on this. So for instance, if we were having some acne problems for hormonal, we could scan me and find out which one was the right one. Now, you don't just get to scan and find out what they are and broadcast them, which means just, you know, sending them through the, like a distance healing. You can actually also imprint these frequencies as well. So you can see there pulsatilla was first before, now sepia is, which means that sepia would be better for me if that was my problem. And I could actually imprint them. If I had homeopathic pilules, you could use it into that, or you could imprint it into your water. So many things in here, but the most recent one that we've had come up, oh, but there's a whole heap of, let me just go there quickly. There's a whole heap of detox ones in here and supportive ones. So adrenal thyroid support, I'm pretty sure you would have been using a bit of that, Belle, when you were going through your your adrenal fatigue. But there is also a lot of detoxes, and I can tell you we ran a detox program earlier in the year, and you wouldn't believe, like, people have the full-on die-off symptoms, like it's insane, and we have to actually go quite gently with the detox ones, but they're there and they're amazing. And again, you can imprint or you can broadcast that. And the girl's going to go into a little bit more about how they use that in their business soon. And one of the ones that has just literally been released, and none of us have actually worked with this extensively yet. We've been playing with it ourselves, but these are all tuning forks. And so if you see here, these are pretty much all the sets that you can get that are available on the market. Now, this is a bit of a game changer, because I have 2 sets of tuning forks, and I can tell you I spent $2,000 at least on those 2 sets of tuning forks. But that's only 2. And these are all of them. And basically, again, you can scan your customer, your client, to find out what they need. Or you can just go in, if you know about tuning forks and you know which one, given, you know, their history and what they're there for, you can literally go in, choose it, and then run that tuning fork. So let's see what I need tonight. Why not? My scans are a little bit slow tonight, just because I think I'm in the sticks. I live in Tamborine, and just outside of Brisbane. And our internet has not been good since we had all those crazy storms through. So auto clearing and connecting, there we go. If I wanted to run that, I could just literally choose 30 seconds, which when you're working with tuning forks, that's actually quite a long time because they don't usually emit for that long. Oh, and that's a really low one. You can barely hear it. And then you can emit that tone. Now, there are a couple of different ways to work with this. The company has actually come out with 2 little transducers that you can place at different points on the body, or you can literally just place the device or whatever you're using on the body as well. I tried that with a migraine recently because I don't have the new little doovies, and I put it just to the side of my head, and it actually worked a treat, which was amazing because I've heard someone else had done that. So that was brilliant. And then we have also the multicast. Now, this enables you to broadcast to a large number of people. I think you can add 16 people to a list, and you can add a whole heap of playlists to them. So that's a new feature. I'm not going to go into too much detail because you're probably already like, oh my gosh, what is all of this? So can I just, they are the main ones that I would say that I want to cover off on tonight. There is a lot more. And the one thing with this company is that they are always improving on things. So the amount of new things that have come in since I've joined the company, it would just blow your mind. And they're doing updates constantly. Is there anything for everyone on the call tonight that was of any interest there? Anything that really caught your attention? Just go back actually, in case you want to share that. Ooh, my share screen's being weird tonight. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, is anybody
Can I speak or not?
Sorry?
Can I speak? Can I ask a question, or do you want to?
Sure.
Yeah. This is Monique.
Hi, Monique.
Yeah, hi. So I'm a kinesiologist. So how does it change how you do the actually kinesiology in a session?
Yeah. We're actually going to get into that. So yeah, we've got a lot of information on that coming for you, Monique. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so we can share that.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in if you want and talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. You're covering that in what we're going to,
yeah, online and in person, I can cover that.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Do you want to do that now or when you're?
Yeah, I can.
Well, I think we're ready to jump into you anyway. Yeah. That's exactly where we're going, Monique. So Amanda, take it away.
Perfect. Well, I might share my screen in a minute. So so maybe we'll jump out of there. But I was going to pretty much just touch on being a practitioner, and for the obviously being a practitioner call, how we can kind of use this sort of online or face-to-face. So so I was going to jump in probably face-to-face. I might just talk about so you can use this technology obviously on its own, so as a one-off sort of modality, or you can start to weave it into what you already do. So obviously the 3 of us are kinesiologists, so we're probably coming from that level, but you could use this as Reiki practitioners, as mindset coaches, as massage therapists, as anything you want. So I guess to start with, if I was bringing it into my clinic, I would scan a client for a quick look at what's going on. What I tend to do in my practice is if they're coming in with something physical, then I go into that comprehensive area that that Paige showed us, and I'd see what was chronic. And I'd go in and I'd use a surrogate muscle for that chronic area in the body and talk to that area. So for all you kinesiologists who know what surrogation is, if something came up, say in the urinary system, the urethra came up, I don't have a muscle test for the urethra. So I might go in and surrogate for the urethra and then talk to the urethra that way, but it's shown up through the scan. So it's kind of given me another way to go in other than relying on just muscle testing. I'm also collecting information and patterns and asking the body what's relevant. So I go in that way. I also, and I'll just share my screen. I really love the body system part. Can everyone see my screen? Yep, beautiful. So just say, just seeing what reports I've got in here. So if someone comes in with a particular issue, and especially in a particular body system, I would go in, and I love looking at these charts for the causes. So if we can see over here. Just got to move my screens around. We've got all the causes here. So chronic is obviously long-term, and acute is more right now. So if someone was maybe coming in with a nervous system problem, I might start to use this as hints of where to go. Obviously, you know, check in on their dehydration in their body, check in on their insulin. I've used insulin vials, so I might check in with a muscle test. Is that relevant to put on the body and to clear? I would look at some of these emotions and see what's relevant to bring in as well. So it's kind of double layering. Not only have we got the beauty of our kinesiology, we've also got the scanner to weave in and see if we can go deeper in a different way. So that's looking like kind of one-on-one in quick, like, you know, you've got a client in front of you. But I also use this as a separate modality. So I jump online and I do scans for an hour and, you know, build a playlist for someone, which is a Cephi list, which Paige started to talk about. So it's sort of coming in at a different angle to kinesiology. So I might do a kinesiology session, and then I might say, let's look a bit deeper into the scans, and then we'll bring that back into the kinesiology session later. Also, obviously, I got this technology originally to help me online. Because I felt like as we were using a surrogate to work on someone at a distance, I felt quite burnt out, especially in lockdown. So I've kind of put together a new way of working and incorporating both kinesiology and using the scanner. And so what I do is some people use as a grid to set up their remedies, and as they send them energetically through the quantum field to the client, a bit like, I guess, if you think about distant healing with Reiki. I also put remedies, and I used to put remedies on a grid with a person's name on to proxy that remedy in. Now I use the scanner, so it's actually more powerful. So what I do is I go into the quantum field, and this might be a little bit out there for people, but if you're all practitioners, you know, you might have a good understanding. But I will go into the Cephi list, and I've obviously talked to the client about what's going on, set up some goals, gone into my online session, done a kind of a bit of a kinesiology session online, and then I put all the remedies on what we call a fractal amplifier. So what this is what amplifies out into the quantum field. So we've got all these beautiful little diagrams. And so obviously, if we know about frequency, love is our highest frequency. So I go into the person's profile who I'm working on, and I would bring in the love remedy, and everything that I'm working on with the client, I would hit continuous play, and I would stick this like it's a grid and it's their body. So think about this fractal amplifier as someone's body that's on your table. And I'd start putting remedies on there. So I might put a flower essence on there that comes up. There might be an essential oil that might come up. There might be a crystal that comes up. There might be some energy cards that might come up. And I'd stick them on that fractal like a grid, and I'd send that out to the client. And so what's happening with that is it's going through the quantum field. And what I've been hearing from my clients as I work this way, I'm just going to turn that off. I don't know if anyone can hear that sound. But what I'm finding is the sessions are lasting longer. They're integrating quicker. And my clients, I do an hour and a half instead of an hour using this. So I set up the kinesiology, I put all the remedies, and I'm broadcasting. So they're getting not only the kinesiology, they're getting this frequency sent to them with extra remedies. And then what I do is I always end the session with an inner voice, which we've all talked about already. And then I also end the session with what we call an AO mind sync. And so this is one of our new modalities in itself in the scanner. And we all love using our voice and obviously affirmations and frequency music. So this is combining all three. So what happens at the end of a session, I've been looking for the positive outcomes and intentions and the affirmations that have been coming up in the session. And I put together a little AO mind sync. So what the client does is records in here for 60 seconds or more all the positive affirmations that have come through. And we can see through the list, there's ones that we could offer them. So we've got like the health affirmations, we've got prosperity ones, And you can see that it will start to talk you through, and you can record these in. So this is really great for longevity for a client to have homework, especially at a distance. Instead of having to pop things in the post for people, I'm now sending remedies and frequencies through the field. And I'm also giving them homework to listen to the inner voice, which will help balance their emotions. But I'm also recording for them through their own voice a mind sync, which will have all the outcomes. So as the week goes on, they're already constantly bringing those awarenesses through. So the session just keeps continuing. So that's one way you can use this. And, you know, you could use this just on its own. You could just do like an inner voice for a person, and you could put a positive mind sync together for them. And you could just start here. If you weren't a practitioner, or you were, it wouldn't really matter. You could start to build a bit of a consult program. And then you might go in and go, okay, let's just look at the chakras and the meridians on their own, and you could scan those. And so then you're bringing in like a little consult of, let's look at your chakras, let's look at your meridians, let's look at your emotions. Let's put a positive outcome for you on MindSync, but then we can go into the Cephis, which is here, and start to customize a playlist for someone. So I could go Joe's playlist, and she might have had her chakras, maybe like 3 or 4 chakras started to show up. And so we can start to add that to a playlist. And maybe there was a meridian that was out, and maybe it was a large intestine. So we might want to start putting in some digestive things in there. So we can start to, you know, start to make playlists for people. So that could be another way to consult. We can also do, in this beautiful top part, we've got spaces and objects. So in the spaces and objects, we can start to put all our goals in, which Belle's going to talk about this sort of program in a minute. But how I also use it is under spaces and programs, I can put all the rooms in my house in and send energy to those rooms. But how I also use it on a consult level is I might put someone's house in there who wants to sell their house or clear their house, and I might start doing a program. I'm just trying to see if I've got any houses in here at the moment. Oh, here's one. Selling, you know, just as a pretend one, selling my home. I put the address in, and I put the outcome, and I put a photo in here, and then I can start sending frequencies to that. So then I can come back into the Cephis. And I know I'm going through this really quickly. I just want to give you an idea of what's possible. You will learn how to do all this if you choose to come on board and use this technology. So don't worry that you know, it's all looking a little bit too much. So in this Cephi target, I could then go into selling my house, and I've picked a customized playlist, and I want to send prosperity to that particular house. And so, you know, lately I've just been doing some consults on people who are selling their houses, and I'll do lists for them and lists for their home. And, you know, we'll go in that way using the frequencies. And if that's not, maybe there's some sabotages or some limiting beliefs coming up, then I might bring them in to do kinesiology as well. So I'm sort of looking at it in many different ways to work with a client. So it's a really good tool to have as an additional like a modality to bring into your practice, but also you can earn money just consulting with it or bringing it into your actual consults. You might want to add in an extra fee, or you can do other things, which I think Belle's going to talk to us about with the groups, the Cephi groups. Is that right, Belle?
That's right.
So yeah, that's just a couple of ways that you could work as a practitioner. You know, there's obviously some other things that I wanted to just quickly discuss, like there's imprinting. So what we can do is we can come in here and start to imprint and put different remedies on and imprint. So I've put together like the whole bark flower remedies in frequencies. I've put the bush flower remedies, and I've imprinted all of the different remedies. You can stick it in an imprint. I've made up all the tissue salt remedies. So on a practitioner level, like I'm already saving a lot of money just by imprinting the frequencies and having them in my clinic. And you can also start, and I haven't done this yet, but I know another practitioner has, she starts to make frequencies on all of these different things. So, you know, you could do a whole flower essence little frequency on forgiveness, and you can use that in your clinic. You know, you could do one on stress-free and use that on your clinic. So that, you know, there's a lot that you can do to bring into your clinic and offer clients in a different way and save money. There's also a beautiful component in here around supplements and therapies where you can save money, because you can put all your vitamins in here. So these are all my little vitamins, and it can tell me what I need every day. And so instead of taking, say, chromium every day, I might only need it, you know, once a week. And so I'm saving money on supplements as well, because the scanner's telling me what I need from picking it up from the patterns in my vital scans and my inner voice scans. So they're just a couple of good ways to save, but also ways that you could bring it into practice.
Okay, question.
Yep.
So you're using that. Well, how does it compare to, say, with vitamins, for instance, for yourself? The accuracy, you could test for yourself or you use the machine. What is the accuracy of the machine? Has that been established?
There is, yeah, there is like science and obviously behind that, but you must also realize that the more you scan yourself, the more accurate it becomes. So, you know, we just don't do one scan. So obviously if you've got it yourself, it's going to be more accurate because you're scanning yourself every day. But if you're working on a client, you might not have that client in every week. So, you know, that's where it's best to set up maybe some programs where you do regular programs and scanning on people so that they get a really good look at the accuracy. You know, is this pattern showing? Does this vitamin keep showing up for me? I mean, if you're a practitioner, you can double check, and, you know, if there's 5 that are showing up and you only want to take 2, you could ask what's priority.
Yeah. And so do you ever use just kinesiology by itself, or you always weave the this scanner in, this AO scanner?
Well, I use it separately and I use it together. So obviously online, I use it together now. In practice, I do like to sometimes, if I've got a brand new client and they've come for kinesiology, I might not introduce the scanner straight away. I might slowly educate them in. If they're coming in with a chronic physical problem and they have no idea what's wrong with them, they've been everywhere, then I will get my scanner out for me to look. To see, is there any clues here of what's going on before I get them on the table?
Yeah. So it gives you some idea beforehand, but the kinesiology itself, you're not replacing the actual machine for the kinesiology.
Well, you're not, but you could you know, people could use this as a modality in itself without kinesiology.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It would, I think if you've already got the kinesiology, you can incorporate it and it's a big bonus. But, you know, also people who aren't kinesiologists, who don't have muscle testing, you know, can use this. Coaches, massage therapists, you know, they can start designing their own programs. And, you know, Belle will talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope that's answered some of the questions.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Monique.
That was amazing, Amanda. That's really cool. Did you have more that you wanted to share there?
I think I've pretty much covered. I just wrote a few notes so I didn't miss anything. But yeah, I think that's a good start. I think Belle will really shine through what else we can do with this. So
amazing. Belle, you want to take it away?
Should I jump out of the screen?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So I also quickly share how I use it on in-person sessions, but I predominantly also use this as an online tool for my online business. So in an in-person session, I love these Cephi dots, which we haven't spoken about yet. So we have these fantastic dots. These are called Cephi dots, and you can imprint all of those frequencies that you have just been shown into these dots, which is awesome. So I have those sitting there on my shelf, you know, where we've got all our remedies that we muscle test, and they test up. So when I'm working on a meridian or an acupressure point, I can actually imprint frequencies into it and stick that on the acupressure point as a remedy in clinic, which I really like. I also love making up bottles of these homeopathic remedies for my clients. So I also can use these in online sessions and send them in the post. If you imprint frequencies into these Cephi dots, they last 30 days imprinted and only 3 days on the actual body. So if I'm like doing like a weight loss program or something with someone, there's some, perfect body and weight loss frequencies. I send them 10 sheets, which is 30 days worth in the post, wrapped up in foil to protect the frequency. And every 3 days, they will change the dot on their body to help them lose weight. So yeah, these you can imprint with anything. I've used them. I had a very, very severe last year, a urinary infection that with blood, and beautiful Paige actually, when I was a bit just stressed, freaking out, was like, why don't you imprint some Cephi dots and stick them on your kidneys? And then I scanned and optimized just the urinary area in the body systems, which you've been shown. And I was better in a day. And one of my clients who's a nurse had the similar thing at the same time, and she said she had 2 weeks of antibiotics, whereas I just sent myself antibiotics through the actual scanner. So the Cephi dots are amazing and very flexible and creative in how you can actually use them. The other thing that these have just arrived, so I haven't had a chance to get in with them yet, but Paige had mentioned previously about the AO Tune, all the tuning forks, and these are the transducers. So they come in a set of 2, and you can actually use this to put on run meridian lines, put it on a chakra, put it on an acupressure point. So I too have also spent thousands of dollars on my tuning fork. So I'm so excited now to be able to really get into playing with that and expand my library. As far as like online goes, though, I travel a lot. As those of you that know me know, I'm always away. I love traveling. And so when I would do online kinesiology sessions, I would have to pack so much extra stuff with me to be able to do in a session. Now I predominantly use my scanner as my remedies. There is all the bark flower essences and all the Australian bush flower essences in there. So I can test up for a flower essence. We can discuss the meaning with them. They do their ESR points or whatever, and I broadcast the frequency to them. We've got like, 300 homeopathics in there. As Amanda, she's the one that taught me that beautiful trick about putting all of your stuff on the fractal amplifier and sending it through. Even in an in-person session, I use that imprint section that Amanda had shown, and anything that tests up as homework. So it doesn't have to just be a flower essence to put in a bottle. I can imprint the color therapy glasses, essential oils, anything that tests up in a session, I can imprint from the one screen up to the top and give my client a little tincture bottle to take home as, a little vibrational remedy. So you're only limited by your thinking and creativity, really. There's so many ways that you can stretch this. But one of my all-time favorite ways of using it is I regularly do group programs. So I do one-on-one ones, and I always do them for a minimum of 4 weeks or longer. But we also do many groups together, like I'm doing one with beautiful Amanda and Sandra at the moment. So it's an opportunity to, collab with your beautiful colleagues, if you like, as well, and get creative. And I've done them for abundance, where I included some of my theta healing stuff. I've done, I include some of my Reiki in there, kinesiology. You can be creative if you've got other modalities and tools and interweave them. So I've got programs that I do that are straight bioresonance, but I also interweave it with the other things that I do as well. So at the moment, we're doing a nervous system reset group. You can do hormone balancing, which I did earlier this year. When I first signed up and I did my bioresonance bootcamp 5 months in a row, like I mentioned earlier, I made 20 grand. So the programs are just so amazing, and they really are so effective at the way that they can help people, and you help a lot of people all at once, which is really amazing. The other thing that I love to do, being a Reiki practitioner and a Reiki teacher, I would make grids, like manifesting grids in my Reiki, and I would put all the Reiki symbols on it, and I'd put some, crystals and things, and I'd hold space for my intentions. Now what I do is I get that Reiki grid and I put all of my intentions in the scanner and send Cephi frequencies to it. Right. So every new moon is when it's like really powerful manifesting time. I decide to check in with myself and go, what do I want to bring in for the month ahead? And so it might be, I don't know, 3 new QLAs into my beautiful bioresonance team. It might be to fully book my retreat, or, you know, then there's personal things. I want to be strong, fit, and healthy. And I will create a specific playlist to be able to bring all of those things in. And I've got to tell you, it's just incredible. Like pretty much nearly everything that I manifest for every month comes true, or like almost like just short of. Like I might have 7 people instead of 8 or something like that. But everything that I put in there, you know, and if I put a program in there for some reason, it's not landing and it's not selling and the people aren't coming, then I put it in the scanner and it's fully booked. Like, you know, when I first announced my retreat, I only had a couple of bookings. Now I'm fully booked at 8. Same with the nervous system reset program. I'm like, well, I've only got 2 people. And we're like, let's put it in the scanner. Then I've got the 10 people I wanted, like, bam. So it's really amazing to just send that extra powerful energy that I used to do with Reiki, but it's happening so much faster now being able to use the scanner. I send abundance frequencies to my bank account. I do it to my Facebook page, my Instagram page, and my website. So I regularly do energy clearings on those sections and send it abundance frequencies. Over the last, I was talking to the girls about this when we were chatting before, over the last 2 years since I have had the scanner, pre the scanner, I was not even registered for GST and I was not even making anywhere near GST. I have doubled my income in 2 years just from the scanner. And I only do 3 days a week of clients now. Before I was doing 5-6 days a week of clients. I'd go 3 weeks. If I was teaching on the weekend, I'd go 3-4 weeks without having a day off. Hence why I ended up in really bad burnout. And now I have a beautiful work-life balance. I get to travel all the time. I love the affiliate marketing side of this as well. So yes, I do very well in client consultations and programs, but you know, the affiliate marketing side, having that residual income coming in US dollars every single month, that totally covers all of my rent, all of my bills, and allows me to do all of this travel and all of this study that I'm continually doing all the time. This has given me so much freedom. And it has just helped me help way more people than I ever possibly could on my own without burnout. So, you know, I've got beautiful health and I'm helping other people get better. Like one of my clients was going to have to get her thyroid removed. We did a couple of months of bioresonance. She ended up with 90% function back, doesn't have to have an operation. Now, that's just one story. I have so many of those stories that I could tell you of how I've helped people over the last 2 years. This is like one of the most rewarding businesses like ever on the planet. And like I said, every single day, this bioresonance therapy makes my gratitude journal. And I'm not exaggerating and I'm not being salesy. We're not selling vacuum cleaners. This is something that really helps people and it can really change your life big time.
I agree. That was awesome, Val. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That is actually one of the big points as well, that oftentimes as practitioners, we don't look after ourselves and that self-care can really take a back seat. I have 3 kids and, you know, 2 businesses and, you know, a partner and all the things. And to be honest, before I got the scanner, my self-care wasn't consistent at all, but every single day now I get my self-care in, you know, and it's funny when you talk to people who have this, they would rather go without food than go without their frequencies. It becomes that, you know, that sort of thing. So I have to say that that's definitely, and is there anyone else on the line who's like that, you know, like, are you a practitioner who doesn't, you know, get time for self-care? Or the other side of it is I often don't get time to balance my own kids, you know, because we're busy and I just, you know, can't get them on the table or whatever. This has also been a game changer for that for me as well, to be able to, you know, support them and see what's going on really quickly. They know how to run their own scans, so they can go and do that for themselves as well. So yeah, I have to say that that has been an absolute game changer for me in that way as well. Yes, Amanda's just said, and Belle just won a free holiday too. And she did. DJ just said that she'd go without her frequencies. Yeah, and for her family too, it's been the biggest blessing. All right, so we have touched a little bit on some of the other things. I am aware that we've hit the hour, so I just wanted to share with you a couple of more little things. Here, just one second. All right, isn't. Oh, here we go. Technology challenged again. Okay, so just back on, Monique, how you were saying how accurate is this and all of the things, we have to also do the disclaimer, which is that the AO Scan Mobile is not a medical device. It is not used to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases, and is solely for the purpose of educational use. We probably should have put this a little bit earlier. Although it does support the body in a lot of these ways, we certainly don't claim to do that. And so when we're looking at accuracy and all of those sorts of things, we just have to be careful that we're not diagnosing. And yeah, so here are a few testimonials from other practitioners over time who have been using this. So I'll just read through a couple of those. This is Christine. I was using another NLS machine that was beyond old and so very head scratching complicated. And I do hear that a lot with some bioresonances, that they can be quite complicated. It was what Solex was originally before it was all upgraded. When I saw the app, I was so grateful for how easy it was to use and so effective. Pain dissolves instantly. Optimizing is so effective. Cephi is incredible, and Inner Voice is also quite miraculous. Suzanne says, I have been watching this industry for years, hoping I could one day afford a library of frequencies and the ability to use them. When this came along, I jumped on board with both feet and haven't looked back. But Jo, who's actually on the call tonight, she said, I was introduced by a friend and something deep inside me resonated with me so much that I purchased on the spot with absolutely no idea what it was or what it could do. I had only just started learning about energy and frequencies and I was blown away. I knew it could help my family, but had no idea in what capacity. What it has done in terms of mental and physical health is far beyond anything I could have imagined. And I'm grateful for this technology every single day. It's easy to use, extremely accurate, and very cost effective. I wish everyone had one. And I think that's all of our wishes, actually. To support, and Jennifer says, to support my personal journey of Lyme and mold that went undiagnosed and treated for 6 years. Started my recovery when I heard of Solex in 2020. Been using it ever since for myself and my loved ones and in practice with clients. It's an amazing tool. And then we have Victoria, been using this frequency healing for years with great success. I was using other devices, however, when I was shown this gadget, what it could do, did a quick scan on me and shared what it picked up, I was sold immediately. It was at that moment I knew I needed the AO, not only for me, but for my family and my practice. What a blessing it has been. And Liz, I already have a business where I do individual sound frequency sessions and emotion code. I felt the AO scanner really complemented what I was already doing, as well as added the component of being able to look at the whole body with emotions, as I believe in the whole body working together is key to balance. And I think we all resonate with that as well. Okay, so what to do next? If you want to explore the device further, there is a few different ways that you can do that. One is to book yourself a set of scans. So whoever invited you tonight, they're able to help you out with that, and you can have a look at it all from that level as well. We have a little offer for you all who are on the call tonight as well. So just hang on for a moment and we'll share that with you. You can join as a preferred customer. So this is where you can purchase the app for a monthly subscription. It's $149 US per month. Now, if you drink coffee, that is basically 1 cup of coffee from a cafe a day. Okay. And if you can also join as a quantum living advocate, and that is what myself, Amanda, and Belle are, and most of our team. And for $49 US, in addition to that subscription, you then have basically the distribution rights, essentially. So you become an affiliate of it, and then you can actually earn from that as well, which is what we've all discussed a little bit about tonight. Like I said, it helped me get around Australia with my family and enabled me to do my business at the same time, which was very cool. Okay, so our special offer tonight for being on the call, we are offering a free Inner Voice scan. So go back to the person who invited you if you haven't had one already, or if you want another one, because I know that my people generally, they'll still take another one if they've had one before, because it's so amazing and life-changing. Get that report, read it, understand it. It's just phenomenal. The other special that we have for tonight is we have 3-day passes. If you want to try before you buy, then we have 3-day passes at $33 instead of $99, and that's Australian dollars. That's $11 a day for you to check that out. It's 72 hours. I would suggest you choose 3 days that you can really sink your teeth into it. And the other thing is, if you join this month, with a starter bundle pack, which we can talk you through with a person and a subscription, you get a free bottle of Think. And this, I actually posted about this recently, but it's phenomenal. It's an anti-inflammatory, but it's also very, very good for brain fog and reducing inflammation, focus, all of those things. So that is also another offer that we have, and that's on until the end of the month as well. So we'd love you to join that. This is teamwork that we are doing right here. So I introduced Amanda to this. Amanda introduced Belle. We love working as a team. As you know, often we're sole traders as practitioners. And if you work out of a clinic, then that's great. But often you're like ships in the night anyway with those other practitioners. I know because I've done it. This actually is a teamwork. It is a network of people that you get to tap into. And I can tell you what, I've made lifelong friends here who I would never have met if I didn't do this business. And I know Amanda said last year, I get to have a Christmas party, with my people. And, since I left corporate, I've never really had to do, I've not had that, right, with my colleagues, right? So those sorts of things are just invaluable. We get together a lot. There is so much support within this, and it's an amazing bunch of people. And it doesn't matter what team you're in, you're all part of the family. So that's what I love about this company particularly, and the team that we're in. So you get a lot of free team training like we're doing tonight. You get a lot of support in terms of if you want to introduce people to the business. Solix has a whole university, which is the company behind the AO scan, and so many. If anything, there is too much information out there, and sometimes people get overwhelmed with how much. It's about finding your way through. There is so much support for this company. It's amazing. And the reasons why we do this: self-care and burnout free, a pandemic disaster-proof business, additional income stream, and empowerment, as Belle was mentioning, getting to help other people. Like, it's amazing. That's why we became healers in the first place, right? And community, like I just mentioned. So nothing beats experience. Go back to the person who invited you, get that free scan, reach out if you have any questions. We are more than happy to answer some. I'll probably stop the recording now, but if you do have some questions, please stay on the line, pop them in the chat, and we'll address anything that you have now.
Can I just say something really quickly before
Yes,
we go on?
please do.
I just saw.
Ooh, I'm missing you, Belle. Can you say? Yep, go for it.
Can I just say something quickly before we jump off?
Yeah, absolutely. Go. Yep.
Just because Amanda had just mentioned it in the chat. So we are all off to Bali in May for a team business accelerator retreat. And there is 2 rooms left. So if you are like, a go-getter and you want to jump in and do the business and you want to, come in and join us, I just wanted to say there is 2 lucky spots left for that in May as well, which would be a really amazing start for you.
And we're all going to be there. Yeah, it's amazing. Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me tonight. I will just stop that recording now, but if you have any questions, please hang on the line. So thank you all for joining us, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you soon.